Chiefs Kingdom, welcome back to All Chiefed Up. We're back with another podcast for that ass. And today we're going to talk about camp, wrapping up day 3. But first, we just had a story we read, and we had to address it for everyone. Devin Clements from Heavy on Chiefs says, Analyst, Chiefs shouldn't give overrated player a contract extension. Steve, Devin's not the slap nuts. Turns out Arrowhead Addict Jacob Milham, who prefaces this by, it's the offseason, give me a break. But he says 3 overrated players on the Kansas City Chiefs 2023 roster. Number 1, Chamari Connor, a rookie. How do you call a rookie overrated? Number 3, Justin Ross. Okay, come on, I get it. You can call Justin Ross a little overrated, maybe, but he's yet to even see the field. This is the one that got us going the wrong way. Trey Smith, he says we should not give Trey Smith a contract extension in the offseason, Steve. What do you think about Jacob over here?
What did he say?
I think Arrowhead Addict, like, what are you addicted to? Methamphetamines? Like, you're high if you think that Trey Smith is overrated and that we shouldn't give him another contract. Like, good Lord, man. Just stop.
Dude,
stop.
Slap nuts. Like, come
Slap
on.
nuts is the only thing that describes this. This is absolutely unreal. Anyone that's watched Chiefs football in the last couple of years knows how valuable Trey Smith has been to our offensive line. This guy's a gem. He's one of the best draft picks we've had. As far as value goes, he's the best draft pick we had. And we got this slap nuts over here talking about how he's overrated. Like, what are you watching,
What's
dude?
Arrowhead Addict out here doing? Come on, get it together. Trey Smith is a dog. He goes out and blocks. He'll block you into oblivion. He's great in the run game. He's good in the pass game. The guy says he's not good because he gives up pressures. What is it with these people and pressures? It doesn't turn into sacks. A few pressures here and there is not the end of the world.
We will not stand for this.
I'm
BS.
not standing for it.
This is dumb. Like,
Trey
this
Smith,
is stupid.
Trey Smith gets a contract extension. That's all there is to it.
Good
He's
Lord.
on the short list. He's going to get it. This is a non-issue from here on out. I don't want anybody else bringing this up.
Be careful what you're reading out there, Chiefs Kingdom, because there's some slap nuts feeding you some garbage. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, there really is. Well, we got back into camp today. Day 3, rookies and QBs. This is a picture of the place. It looks pretty nice. It looks a little
field.
Overcast today. The weather was a lot better today, Steve. Look, only 67. If you notice down there when they actually start on Sunday, 91, 94, 97, 99. Satan himself is going to be evacuating St. Joe over the next week. So these guys better cherish that weather today.
It's the nicest day of camp so far, and it's probably going to be the nicest day that they ever have because it's just going to get ridiculous. But before we talk about camp more, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 20,000 subscribers before the end of this coming season. So do your boys a favor and hit that sub button if you haven't. 95% of our viewers haven't. So do that. Let's go.
Chiefs Wire says the Chiefs veterans report to training camp today. So they've changed it, Steve. They were going to report Saturday. They're bringing them in today. They're going to be rolling in tonight.
Nay. You will not take another day off.
You will come in tonight.
Hurry up.
They're just bringing it in tonight. They want them to get accustomed to it. They're still going to kick off on Sunday. But what we had today was a defensive showing. Matt McMullen says that's a wrap on the third and final day of pre-camp, is what he called it. Anthony Cook, the safety from Texas, UDFA, tallied a terrific pass breakup deep down the field. And then Chamari Connor out of Virginia Tech also made a great play to break up a pass on an underneath route. So on a day that Mahomes and Mike Edwards and most of the vets that were there kind of took a day off, as we all knew they would, they come out and Oladipoon and Shane Bichelle was throwing some passes today, but it looks like the defense, that little safety. Oladiwada. Anyway, the safety duo back there, Chamari Connor and Cook, put in some work today, Steve. So it's looking like the defense finally had a day rather than what we had been seeing, which was Nico and Rashee Rice.
Absolutely, and this should be exciting, man. So, yeah, like you mentioned, a lot of the vets, they were sleeping in today. But we got to see Chamari Connor get out there and put some work in and get a little recognition for it. I think people are excited about Chamari Connor, man, because he's coming in to maybe take that L'Jarius Sneed role. If we can't retain L'Jarius Sneed after his final year in his contract, it looks like Chamari Connor might be the guy that slides in there to his spot, and I think he can do it, man, and I'm super excited about it, and I liked what he had to say on the mic as well. Yeah,
Chamari Connor, he got to talk yesterday. We got to hear from Isaiah Pacheco. Today we actually heard from Deneric Prince. He was in practice today returning some punts, doing things like that. We'll let you see some footage of that. He was out there doing that. He took the mic today to talk about what he was doing. You're also going to see Kakoa Crawford right now doing that as well. Kekoa Crawford looked pretty good as well. But we seen him on the mic in the presser, and they asked him, how do you feel? He says, I feel like I'm an every down back here. I can do it all.
Why are you laughing?
That ding-dong mic, bro. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. But can we take a minute to talk about this fluffy ding-dong microphone? What the hell are y'all doing out there at camp? We got to fix it. We got to get it together.
Dude.
This is distracting from what's actually going on.
Yeah, it's distracting. I'm like, what is going on? I thought you were just laughing at me because I'm talking about generic Prince out here. I'm trying to talk about the Prince. You're looking at his fluffy dong. Like, let's get it on.
Generic Prince.
Come on.
Generic Prince is trying to, he's trying to up Chris Jones and his 40-time fiasco. That's what's happening here.
I don't want to talk about it. He feels like he's an every down back that can do it all. They went on to ask him. He said he likes to fall asleep while reading the playbook. Playbook was a hot topic today, learning the playbook, Steve. But he says he falls asleep. Is Andy just writing out? He's not writing those good novels, He's not out here he's not developing characters very well in the playbook, apparently.
We know that Andy Reid's playbook is not boring. We've seen it for years now. So this is just generic Prince saying he's putting in the time and the effort, man. He's studying up till late at night. He's falling asleep with that playbook in his hands. And like you said, that's been the sentiment with these young guys at camp so far is, hey, we're just trying to learn this playbook because that's how we can contribute to this team is by knowing what the heck is going on. And I think Keandre Coburn actually said something along those lines.
Yeah, Keandre Coburn was at the mic today. He said that he was undefeated against K-State. He was dropping a lot of that mic, dude. It's distracting. I can't even talk about it because the mic, we got to get Pete Sweeney's got to fix that mic for us. I wrote him.
They did this as a joke. They did this just so they could laugh at these guys.
Right.
Poor Keandre Coburn's got to get up there with a 2-foot dong. And they're just laughing at him.
Well, he says he's undefeated against K-State. They've been talking about that lately. But he goes on to say, first I got to learn the playbook, Steve. I can't help the team if I don't know what I'm doing. And that is the sentiment. You can't. But he says that Turk Wharton sends him a Quizlet to learn the playbook. That is flat out brilliant by Tershawn Wharton. Turk out here doing the Lord's work, even though he's not on the field, still rehabbing from that knee.
Absolutely, man. Tershawn Wharton, he contributes a lot to this team when he's on the field, and he's not been. For the last year and a half, he struggled with his injuries. I love seeing things like this. This is the most Kansas City Chiefs thing ever. You got a guy that has not been able to get on the field. He's been trying to rehab himself to get back, but what's he doing? He's being a good teammate, man. He's helping these young guys, and he's doing what Andy would want him to do.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and listen to a little bit of what Coburn said at the mic. I'll roll that now.
Way up from OTAs and rookie minicamp when I first got here. I was happy. I got drafted, got down here, and then they just threw it out on us. And I was like, oh, man, I'm kind of lost. But that time from rookie minicamp to off-season program and to OTAs really helped a lot to even now. I kind of feel more confident going out there, telling them rock left and things like that, just knowing it more. So I think it helped a lot. I feel more confident I was when I first got here. When we first got here and they just gave us a playbook, I'm thinking, okay, I know what to do this day. And the next day, something like whole new. I'm like, man, I ain't learned this yet. And so I think you just got to be serious and just take all the time that you have, extra time that you have. Make sure you're in the playbook. Know the best way you can know it, then the best way they teach it and things like that. So I had a whole lot of I lost moments when I first got here. But, all I could do was just get better each day. That's the standards that Coach Joe say all the time is be better than the day before, things like that. So I'm just trying to be better each day that I step on the field.
Hey,
he says a lot of good stuff.
I'm loving Keandre Coburn's energy, though.
Right?
His energy's, he's excited to be there, man. You can just tell by the way he's talking, and that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, he says a lot of good stuff. We also had a little bit of a presser from Echo Boy Doe. Not a lot did they ask him that was that great. But we did find out that he said it was a blessing to play for the Chiefs because he's a local kid. Obviously, he went to K-State, and then they made a big deal because he was from Ghana, but we already all knew that. So I don't know why they thought we didn't know that. Chiefs Kingdom digs in. We know these guys. We know where they're from. We have Google. Yeah, we did not have to have them to ask where he was from. Like, we got it. Like, we get it. Let's go and look at a couple of these highlights from the day, Steve. I'm just going to play the highlights for the full day, and we'll take a look at them, and we'll talk over them for you guys. Day 3 coming in. Patrick Mahomes,
yes,
Steve,
sir.
He was not there. So you did see Olodokun. He's got some good technique getting ready to watch. Yeah, we're going to watch him coming in right here. Like, he's got a pretty good throwing motion. Bushell, a lot of people are saying Bushell's not going to make the team. I don't understand that at all.
Yeah,
I think we
will.
take 3.
They like Bichelle.
Yeah, we got to take 3 here. Bichelle with the fadeaway right there. I don't know what's up with him. You see Frafo go out today working on his hands. I think Ty Frafo has had a pretty good camp here going. Spags out there making him work a little bit. He's making him run. He's getting those legs under him, though. That's what I like. And then, of course, we see Andy here observing. Got Nico Remigio out here taking some punt returns. Deneric Prince, he's also taking some punt returns. Then we see Kakoa Crawford coming up.
Kakoa.
Yeah, Kakoa. Charles Goldman thinks that Kakoa could possibly be a practice squad guy, man.
Yeah, I think so too, man. They seem to like him as a special teams guy. That's why they pressured him back into a second tryout in the mandatory or the mini camp and everything like that. So I think that he's got a good shot of being on the practice squad because they like his special teams abilities.
Right here we see Isaiah Norman doing some work. He's doing some DB drills, high pointing the football, seeing those hips, seeing how you can get those hips to flip. Man, the D line too. Look how violent these guys are hitting out here, man. They just. Those are some big dudes. And I tell you, though, when everybody gets here and they start this on Sunday, these young guys are going to be in for it because when they start putting the pads on, sometime around August 1st is when those pads will come on. Dude, it's going to be a whole new ball game for them because Andy runs a pretty tough camp, and then we're going to get right into it pretty soon with the first preseason game on the 13th.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome to see all this coming together. We've been so excited just to get to this point, man. We've been waiting around for camp because we know we have a lot of fun position battles to watch with wide receiver, cornerback, defensive line. There's all kinds of good stuff to watch and keep our eye on. Even the safety room is something to look at. I'm just excited to see the vets get back in there because that really solidifies, hey, we're finally in camp. We're that much closer to football. Let's freaking go, baby.
Right. And the last big story of the day, and I wouldn't even call it big, Isaiah Pacheco did practice again today. He was still wearing the yellow jersey. He still had the Koopa Troopa on. They're still running him through, but he's out there. You know, that's all we can ask for. They got to ease him back. A lot of people in Chiefs Kingdom today, I was seeing it on Twitter, a lot of people, some guy from Arrowhead Addict too, I believe, puts out a roster projection, thinks that Clyde's not going to make the team. Doesn't make a lot of sense. It's starting a lot of Clyde Edwards-Helaire hate again. Something's going on over there, man. I just don't understand it. We just heard that Pacheco's recovering from 2 surgeries and may have to be eased in. We take 4 running backs, and Jerick McKinnon is one of those with a long injury history there as well. And then you got Deneric Prince, a rookie. You're going to keep Clyde Edwards-Helaire. If you cut him,
100%.
You lose what is it? If you cut him, you lose $2 million, or you save $3 million, or it's like dead cap, I think. So it actually only works out to be $1 million to have him for the whole season, maybe less.
It's not worth the savings. It's not worth the savings. Clyde offers you too much, and he's in his contract year, so you know the guy's going to be trying to ball out. He's got to get paid from somebody. If it's not going to be from Kansas City, he wants to get a contract from somebody else. He's coming off of his rookie contract. This is his time to make money in the NFL. So Clyde's going to put in the work, man. And Andy's going to use him if he's there. I think the only way Clyde's not on this team going forward is if they come up with some kind of trade package to another team that might give us a decent draft pick for Clyde. But I still don't even think they'll even consider that because of what you said. If you got Isaiah Pacheco that still needs to recover at the beginning of the season, and then you've got Jerick McKinnon, who's an older guy who's had a bad injury history, and then you got a UDFA who's never touched the football field in the NFL before, I think you have to keep that little sure thing that you got. Granted, he's injury prone as well, but it's something. And I think that they will keep Clyde around.
Well, look, there's no point. You're going to get maybe a 6th, maybe a 7th. Do you give up on somebody that knows and he's a leader and they trust him when he's healthy? You don't give up on that in the midst of trying to go chase another championship ring.
Clyde's 4 years deep. He's 4 years deep into this playbook, man. He's very comfortable with it. He's comfortable in the offense, and I think they're comfortable with him. So I think he's definitely going to be on this team, and you're going to see him get a lot of work.
Right. So as we mentioned, this was pretty much the end of the rookie QB training camp. It kind of closed out today. It closed out with more of a little whimper. Like there wasn't a lot to talk about today. But hey, we can't make them do entertaining things. This is just what happens this time of the year.
A nice, relaxing day of camp. I mean, the guys that were there, they did work hard. You could see that on the footage. But I think it was a little more laid back. It's Friday. It was cool outside. And all the vets are starting to roll in. So I think they're all just getting prepared for what's to come, man.
Right. So President Mark Donovan of the Chiefs actually took the podium today to talk about some things. He gave a camp update. It says Chiefs President, this is by Nate Taylor. Mark Donovan says the max the team can host fans each practice is 7,000, and that this will likely be the highest attended camp the Chiefs have had in St. Joe, he's estimated 80,000 tickets have been given out. So if you guys are going to be there on any of the weekends, you better prepare. You better prepare to sit in lines. You better prepare for long lines to park, in and out. It's going to be packed this year. It really
and hot.
is. Yes, it's going to be hot too. Steve, they also asked him a little bit about the Arrowhead renovations and different things. This is what he said. PJ Green says, Mark Donovan said the club is still in the progress of making plans with the Royals about facilities, calls it a process. Our preference is for us to upgrade and renovate the stadium at Arrowhead and make GEHA Field even better.
Field.
He goes on to say, Clark Hunt told him his team that the World Cup 2026 fans need to have a great experience, and so do the Chiefs fans, so figure it out. That's what he told him, drawing a nice chuckle from Donovan about that note. I'm going to go ahead and play some of his conference so everybody can hear it in his own words. Here we go.
If everything plays out the way we think it's going to play out, our preference for us is to upgrade and renovate the stadium at Arrowhead and make GHA Field even better. We've gone through the progress and made some progress there. There are still 3 viable options on the table, and we've got to do the due diligence on renovate, upgrade, build new on site, or build new somewhere else. So all 3 of those options are still part of our dialogue.
Dude, all 3 of those options, we've talked about it time and time again.
Right.
We don't want to see them relocate. We don't really want to see them tear Arrowhead down and rebuild it the same place. We all want renovations. Nope. We want Arrowhead to stay intact. If you got to put a stupid dome on it, put the dome on it, but don't be tearing it down.
Or a roof on that
bad
boy. Yeah, but no, this is kind of good news for people like us that want Arrowhead to be our home stadium, and just renovate it, man, make it better. And that's what he was saying. I think that's the one that they're leaning towards. Like he said, they have to give their due diligence to the other options, and they're going to take the best option for the franchise. But at the same time, man, I think they know a little bit, just like we do, that people love Arrowhead. It's a staple. It is the Chiefs in a sense, man. And I think that they're going to do their best just to renovate, remodel, throw a roof on that daggone thing, whatever they got to do to keep it going, baby, because it's Arrowhead.
Whatever you got to do.
Freaking Arrowhead.
Whatever you got to do. A lot of people are hyped up, Steve, about the Madden player rankings. They keep rolling them out here and there. I think Kelsey got a 99, did he not? He's in the 99 club. The newest addition to the 99 club, Patrick Mahomes, rated 99. I was under the assumption you could get to 100. I haven't played Madden in a long time. But I think if anybody should have been 100, it should have been Patrick Mahomes. And by the way, he should have been like 104, 105.
I think this is where Madden should have, gone off script. That for the first time ever, they should have just gave a 100 and been like, you're not getting any better. This is the best quarterback to ever grace the freaking football field. So he gets 100. I think that's what they should have done, man. I'm totally with that.
Yeah.
But they did give him a nice, comfortable gap between him and Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and those type of guys. I think the closest one to him was Joe Burrow at around a 91 or 93,
They did make Joe Burrow's accuracy on short, medium, and long range way better than Patrick Mahomes. So apparently he's way more accurate than the most accurate quarterback in football. You got to give something to Joe Burrow, I guess. But, yeah, the rankings are out. Everybody's freaking out. I'm not huge with Madden these days, Steve. I don't really care that much.
Yeah, I don't care about it.
The players take it seriously. Justin Reed felt slighted that he was an 81, I believe. But, yeah, somebody made a point that Kadarius Toney was the highest-rated wide receiver we had, and he was like low 80s as well. So a lot of people are saying, hey, look, we got to go get a wide receiver. And it's like, just because Madden says you're rated low.
Look, it's fair.
It's
fair that Madden rated them that way. It is fair. But at the same time, who cares about Madden? It's the same game every year.
Steve, do you
just
realize
throw new names on there.
Growing up, we played a lot of Madden. We'd build those franchises. You remember?
Yeah.
And, do you remember we were doing Chiefs stuff and Brett Veach stuff before they even knew it existed, before Brett Veach was doing it, because we would always just draft based on solely speed, nothing else. We'd get it to the fastest wide receivers on the game, and we would save so much money just throwing to the fast wide receivers and trading for the fast wide receivers.
Why?
That's all you had to do.
Mike, we were ingrained to think that way because back in the day, back in the day, on a regular Nintendo system, we used to play a little game called John Elway's Football.
Yes.
And on that game, I think it was Terrell Davis or one of the guys that you would get, there was a cheat code, man. If you did something just right, he would go into super hyper mode and you could just run around the field like 1,000,000 miles an hour. Do you remember that? It was great. There it is.
There is no way.
I got it for Mike.
In the world, it is Terrell Davis, Steve. Terrell Davis did not play when the
whoever it was it a particular player
Bo
that you had
Jackson?
to get? I don't
I'm not
remember,
for sure.
but there was a way. They were selling you. It was a certain play, maybe.
Yeah, there was
that
a
you had to
glitch
run.
on a play. It was like a reverse play
Yeah.
or something, and they would go crazy.
So good, though. So
But
good.
that's what it was. Okay, man, let's move on. In other news, we heard that the Washington Commanders have got new ownership.
Commanders.
Magic Johnson, the new Washington Commanders minority owner, though, said that the team will consider a name change after the
Already.
season. Which name do you think the Washington team should be named? Steve, everybody's throwing it out. They're saying Red Wolves, the Commanders. A lot of people want to go back to the Washington football team. Look, I think they should just go back to the Redskins.
I do too. I think they should go back to the Redskins. Why do we change things anyway? It was fine the way it was. That's classic. That's what they were known as. It's just like the Chiefs, man. We're not changing the Chiefs. We're never going to change the Chiefs. Just shut up about it already.
We don't
But
want to
either way, I think now that they've gone through the process and already selected the Commanders, just for the sake of the freaking people in Washington to keep up with the football team and buy the merchandise and everything else, leave it the Commanders, man. It is what it is. It's already been that way.
If you're not reverting back to the Redskins, then you got to leave it at Commanders. You can't.
And I will give the Commanders one thing. Like, I don't like the name Commanders, but it's not bad. But at the same time, their uniforms are sick, man. The helmet was sick. Like, why do you want to mess with it? Just leave it alone.
Hey,
Let
I
these
get it.
people chill and enjoy their football team.
Right off the bat, when they were looking for new names, the Red Wolves and all these things, they did have some cool ones, but they chose Commanders.
Right.
And that's what they went with. We can't just be changing the name every other year. If you're going to go back to the original, I'm sure everybody's going to love it. You're going to have the crowd that's going to cry about it, but you're going to have a crowd that's going to be very, very happy. 99% of the population is going to be great. So, Magic Johnson, do what you got to do. Get it back to the Skins, baby, because I want to see the Hogs come back out. And if you do that, you'll be playing the Chiefs in the Super Bowl here before long, and we're going to beat you. We're going to beat you. But, yes, Steve.
Can you imagine how happy everybody would be? Can you
Yeah.
imagine how happy people in Washington would be if Magic Johnson could pull that off?
Yeah, to have a Chiefs-Redskins Super Bowl, I'm sure people would be crying tears.
I just meant the name change, but
yeah.
I don't think they plan on getting back to the Super Bowl anytime soon.
Right. Well, hey, if you're going to do it, that's how you got to do it. That's going to wrap it up for the day. Be sure and watch this video that YouTube thinks you're going to like. And if you're new here, hit that sub button, click that bell, and we appreciate you. We'll see you on the next one. Go Chiefs.
There goes a sight from my soul.